Joe Madden is back. Welcome back, Joe. Hope you're feeling
Thank
better.
you. I'm good. It's good to be back.
Well, good is good. Awesome is better, but good is good. We'll take it. Yeah, it's been an odd week without you. That's for sure. Me and Brian kind of moving through things, getting along okay, which is
Yeah, I heard a rumor you guys were getting along nicely.
yeah, we just moved quickly. I think that's what it was, and we didn't see too many Phillies games, so the Bryce Harper bashing was held in check for the most part. But of course, in prime time last night, under the big lights, Bryce Harper doing what he always does.
Come on, that umpire is pretty brutal.
It's the same guy for both teams. Striking out like no one's business and looking stupid doing so. He always gives that dumb look. Like,
I'm not defending Bryce Harper, but a ball is clearly outside on both. I mean,
in a 0-0 game, this is where you need your guy. It's not like he didn't get any balls to hit. You need him to at least do something, and he struck out a real lot.
Well, we all liked the Brewers yesterday, so that was a nice hit for us.
Was a nice hit for us. I like anyone playing the Phillies. I like the Brewers or anyone playing the Phillies. It's kind of the way that.
Dodgers, I don't know.
Yeah, that'll be a tough one. Be a good series to sit out. But we do have 3 NBA games today, and we're starting to get to that point. We're going to have less and less NBA as the week goes on. And, as the rest of the season goes on, we're just going to have less and less games till eventually it's just one game every few days. The NHL just one game in action today, and then I guess the season's got to be almost over. I mean, this thing is...
I hope so.
End of week.
They're going to be playing like in the middle of July, hockey. It just doesn't even make sense. But they'll be playing in Florida in July. It's going to be like 125 degrees outside in Miami, and they're going to be playing hockey. It's like the ice will be melted. There'll be some issues. That's like.
Well, it gives us more games to look at, though. That's a bright side.
Hockey is one of those sports where they always seem to have issues, right? There's always an issue. It's like the ice isn't staying melted. I've seen it all in hockey. I've seen it where the old Boston Garden, they didn't have air conditioning. And like it would get into this part of the year, and thankfully the Bruins were bad for the better part of that, so you didn't see like a lot of late playoff games by them. But when they did make the playoffs, they would have to have these giant fans on the side of the ice to blow the fog off of it, so you could see. That's
funny.
Yeah, the NHL really has it together. But I'll tell you who's really got it together. We got the Brooklyn Nets taking on the Boston Celtics here in the Barclays Center. It's gone from bad to worse for the Nets in this series. And, it was a 1-point win in game 1, and then game 2 was a little bit more separation. Then game 3 was just absolute Celtic domination. Now we go for game 4. It's an elimination game. It's, at a home elimination game. I'm going to guess this one's going to be played in the Octagon. It's probably going to be a super physical game. These elimination games generally are in the NBA. But are we going to see anything different? I think that's really the thing here is that, what are we going to see that's any different in this game than what we've seen in all the other games? Because... it is a 4-game series, and the Celtics it is a 7-game series, but in 3 games. Brian, what are you thinking in this one?
I think it's going to be a tough physical battle. I think it's going to be the lowest scoring game out of all the games that these two teams have played. I just don't think the Nets want to. They're a veteran bunch. I don't think they want to get eliminated on their home floor. I think I'm going to take the under 220, 219.5. I think first team to 100 wins this one.
Joe?
Yeah, I've got to agree. I think it's a lower scoring game. And if I had to pick a side, I know Brooklyn's up against the wall and needs this win so bad, but needing the win and getting it are two different things. I take the Celtics plus a point.
Yeah, it's odd because the Nets are such a lousy home cover team as a favorite. Really one of the worst in all of sports. and it's only a 1-point spread, so they don't even have anything to work with in this one. So really tough spot for them. They're getting whipped out there. I mean, really, that's what's happening in this game. They're just simply getting whipped, and you know, I think a lot of people expected the Nets to be able to just turn it on. And they have not been able to.
I saw Ben Simmons said he wasn't going to play because he had some pain in his back. So I'm not covering for that guy anymore. I'm done sticking up for him. He's a wuss.
He's not playing because they don't want him to play.
Well, he says it's because he has soreness in his back.
I think they told him no. I think they said you can't. I think they said you can't play, right? We don't want you, something like that.
No, I'm not sticking up for him anymore. I'm done. That's
wow. Off the Ben Simmons bandwagon here for Bitler. Done.
Glad to hear it.
He's not the next Magic Johnson. No, he's not going to do it.
Wow. Okay.
You guys really have been getting along.
Wow.
Good to see.
Wow, this is some crazy stuff going on here. It's like this is kind of just a reverse, you know. This is like me saying, wow, Bryce Harper really deserved those 2 MVPs he got. You know, and the Nationals, they got lucky to win the World Series the year after they got rid of him. You know, it's just a coincidence. He wasn't a cancer to the team. He's not destroying Phillies either. All right, he is. Anyways, man, I love watching that guy strike out. He just looks so stupid when he does it, right? Got that dumbass look. The only thing that would make it better is if he threw the helmet on the ground and was standing there with the dumbass face like Schwarber was, like with the with the bandana. You know, that's what makes it better. It's kind of like
you got to say something.
So it's
after
like
that call.
So like back in like the in the 80s, like I had like a mullet for like 6 weeks or something, right? So I had it, and it was in style. You know, that was the style as a rocker, right? So it's like, that was the heavy metal thing. It's like, that's what we did. But, now I'm a little older and, time has passed, and it's kind of like maybe that phase is kind of out. It's kind of like some of the other things like we used to wear, parachute pants and shit like that too. But, it doesn't mean we wear the bandana. Doesn't mean we wear the bandana around our head until we're 50. It's like because it doesn't look cool. Though. It doesn't look cool anymore. It looks like he's wearing his Flashdance sweatshirt still. That's what it looks like. It's like no one else is wearing the Flashdance. Or the big beards, right? There was these giant beards for like, this was a horrible one. Right, the last 20 years or something, 10 years, ever since Duck Dynasty, right? Everyone started growing these gigantic beards. You're starting to see, right? You don't see these beards anymore, right? All of a sudden, one day we just stop seeing these giant beards, right? Some people wear them, they pull them off or whatever, but that's what they always did even before, But like the people that kind of just grew these big beards, you don't see them anymore, right? You're just not seeing those giant. But Bryce Harper's wearing that bandana, that's for damn sure. Looking stupid. He's just not good enough to pull something like that off. Can't stand that guy.
I'm still questioning what parachute pants are. I'm gonna have to Google those after.
Oh, parachute pants, man. Those are the thing. Parachute pants.
Sound
it's like a real thin material, and it's light and airy.
Parachute.
And they would make noise when you walk too.
Yeah, like you remember MC Hammer wore those big pants too. You don't see him wearing those. Yeah, you don't see him wearing those anymore, right? But Bryce Harper's still gonna wear that bandana.
There's nothing wrong.
You look like an idiot.
There's nothing wrong with it.
When I jump on the back of a bike, I throw a bandana on. That's just to protect my hair, though.
Hulk Hogan still wears his bandana.
Yeah, he also lost all of his hair.
Yeah. That's why I would wear one too, because I don't have any hair. But
I don't have any hair. You don't see me wearing a bandana around.
I want to see you grow a mullet. I would pay to see that.
I used to have one. I was a rocker,
Mitch's
man.
mullet.
I'm a rocker, man. It's like I don't care. It's like I wore ripped jeans before ripped jeans were in. They used to call us burnouts. Then we became rockers. Like we had our time, we had our thing, we had our run. It's like we're kind of it's all right. Those are the best rockers, man. I like all music, but I love like heavy metal. I like 80s hair band stuff too. Big time. Oh, come on, Joe. You like hair band. You don't go crazy when they play Cherry Pie.
That is such a good song. I'm with you.
Cherry Pie is
Yeah,
awesome.
I do.
I love Cherry
That is
Pie.
a very good
It's
song.
awesome.
Yeah.
How could you not love that tune? Anyways, got the Raptors and the Sixers. Speaking of, the series, kind of a mess. The Raptors showed that they have the moxie last time out, and we've seen them play decently in this series, but they're just up against a better team here. I think this is what you see in the opening rounds of playoffs. You see it in baseball. You see it in just about everything. Of course, the NFL is different because it's one and done. So it's like anyone can beat anyone one game. But in these 4-game series, generally, are these best of 7? One team starts pushing the other around, and the Sixers have done that to the Raptors here. I think the Raptors have better days ahead, but I'm just not so sure those days are today. I think this could be the end of the series. And who's going to score more runs, Ben Simmons or Bryce Harper tonight?
That's easy, Bryce Harper.
Ben Simmons. Joe, what do you think of this one?
I hear you on the Raptors just being beat up as of late by the 76ers team. I just think this is a lot of points here, and I can't lay 7.5 points with the Philadelphia 76ers in this game. I think we have a higher scoring one. I think the Raptors keep it a little tighter, and we go over this total. I think the total looks too low in this one. So give me the over and the Raptors plus the points.
Brian?
Yeah, I've been back and forth on this game all morning, and I've been on the Raptors every single game this series. But I think I'm going to just lean to the Sixers. I think Embiid will come out with his head on fire here to crush Toronto. I'm gonna lay the points here, but it's just a lean.
I don't know. I think the Sixers win this game. As far as the spread, well, who the hell knows? This series has been over for a while. Right? This series has been over for 2 games already. Since Embiid hit the shot, this series is over. Right? I mean, we know that. So it's just they're just going through the motions at this point. I don't see the Raptors coming back, bringing it to Game 7 or anything. I don't see that happening. But if the Raptors win here,
yeah, if they win here, it's a whole new ballgame.
It's a whole new ballgame. They go back to Toronto, and they come back to Philly for Game 7 if they can win that. And then in Game 7, anything could happen. All right, we got the Dallas Mavericks and the Utah Jazz. The Mavs have just outplayed. It's you making that noise, Brian. That I thought would blame on El Niños. There you go.
I have it on mute.
All right. I don't know what it is. It's like a grinding gear sound. It's very odd. I blamed El Niños, but I think it was you.
Or maybe it's you.
It can't be me.
It's just weird because I had my microphone on mute. I wonder what happened.
Something with
we'll get to the bottom of it.
We will get to the bottom of that. We'll all have to reboot. Usually that's how it works. Anyways, the Jazz even the series here against the Mavericks, but I would say the Mavericks have dominated this series. I mean, I think the Mavs got the Jazz got super lucky in Game 4 to squeak out the win. But if you back the Jazz at the window in this one, you have been just absolutely smoked in this series. And here they go back to Dallas, who is the higher seed here and really has gotten very little respect in this series at all. Coming off of that last second, who knows even what it was. Joe, what do you think?
This is going to be an interesting game, but I got to give it to the Mavericks. I'm going to lay the points with them. I think they come out and dominate this one. And I think what we've seen in both the games they've won so far, the total has been higher. So I'm going to go on the over in this one as they come out. I think they're just going to come out too strong for the Utah Jazz and get a nice big win here.
Brian?
For me, I'm going to go with the over here. I'd like the under in most of the previous matchups, but I think we see enough scoring here to get it over that light total. If the Jazz are going to stand any chance in this game, they need to pick up the scoring a bit. So I'm going to take the over.
The Jazz have acted like criminals in this series as far as the way that they've played on the court, trying to injure Mavericks players. They should all be suspended. But the thing is that I think, the pick I gave out in the 7 free picks in just 5 minutes, Donovan Mitchell, his point prop total for tonight is 28.5, and kind of lends itself to what Brian was saying, that the Jazz is going to probably score more points. Donovan Mitchell has gone over 32 points in 5 of his last 6 playoff games. So that 28.5 on the prop, you're getting plus money on that thing. And those betting tools, they really nail those props. They just nail them left and right. They don't hit them all, but man, the ones that you hit are usually big plus money. And I like that. I kind of like the under, though. I think it's going to be more of a physical game. Anyways, Brian, what are you selling today?
Nope, off a winning day yesterday, 3-2. I'll take it. I'm going to try to get another one going today. I got my Monday night money shot 3-pack, 2 NBA, 1 Major League Baseball for $50 at PickDawgz.com. Really love one of these NBA plays. Absolutely going to go big on that one, but make sure you guys check it out.
Joe, how about you?
I've got 3 plays out today, 1 in the NBA and 2 in the MLB.
All right.
What about you, Mitch?
I have an MLB 3-pack. That's it. I have picks in the NBA games, and I'll probably have more MLB than that as well. So I've been putting out 1 3-pack a day, and then putting in a lot of extra picks each day. Sometimes more than usually like yesterday, I had more picks that were not included in the 3-pack than I did that were in the 3-pack. So I don't know.
I thought the baseball card was a little hard today, but that's just me.
Well, I think there's better games, better matchups on the card than there has been, but I think there's definitely some opportunity there. I mean, the Rockies are a stone cold lock. Against an underachieving Phillies team, getting plus 170 odds. Basically, if they're going to hand out money, you got to pick it up.
I don't know.
Yeah, reverse run line.
I would go with
Brian.
the plus 1.5.
Of course.
I think it's a 1-run game, but I mean, I like the Brewers yesterday, but we haven't got into baseball, so I won't jump ahead, I guess.
Well, we're always into baseball when it's baseball season. Let's be honest.
I'm a baseball guy. I don't think Kyle Gibson's a minus 190 pitcher, but I also Freeman on the other mound's brutal. So I think it could be a high scoring affair, 1-run ball game. I'm going to take the run line with the Rockies in that matchup.
We're not at that game, but
I know I skipped ahead.
Taking the Rockies reverse run line. Phillies off the night game. Man, do they stink. Giants Brewers, Corbin Burns on the mound. Sam Long listed as a starter, but I've seen Rodon also listed here. Kyle Gibson versus Kyle Freeland, a battle of Kyles in Philly. And Red Sox Blue Jays, the Red Sox not bringing their full roster to Canada because no one wants to go there. It's like, you can't go to Canada. Good. That's what they said. It's like, oh, you can't go to Canada in April. Like, I'm good with that. Way good with it.
Do they have issues getting across the border?
They can't.
Yeah.
We're not allowed to say the words on YouTube.
Yeah.
That we're not allowed to say any. There's like the 10 words you can't say on YouTube, and in order to define why they're not going, I would need to say 6 of them. So, so these are worse than like the George Carlin, words you can't say on TV, according to YouTube. Anyways, they sent out an email about this. So we will not say those words. So everybody knows. Everybody knows it. Anyways. Joe, what do you think of these 3?
Yeah, it gives Toronto a huge advantage there. I'm going to have to grab Toronto in this one. And the under, I think we're going to have a lower scoring one with both of these pitchers starting here. And then I'm with you on the Rockies. I think Kyle Freeman, in the last game we saw him out in, he had a good game. He got 3 strikeouts in those 5 innings and allowed only 2 runs and 6 hits and a walk. So I think he's up for a good game. And against Kyle Gibson, the Rockies should do well. They've done well against right-handed starters. So I think it's great value there. And then give me the under between San Francisco and Milwaukee. I think we have a lower scoring one in that as well. I think you could lean on San Francisco plus the 1.5. You're still getting some good value there at minus 130. They've been able to cover that run line as a road underdog against the Central in their last 7. So, but I think they win it. I'm going to take San Francisco straight up.
Brian?
I can pretty much tell that Rodon's not pitching with this kind of line, but the San Francisco Giants have been playing such strong baseball. I think you take them again on the run line. I think it's a 1-run game. Giants are fighters. And the Rockies, I'm going to take them also on the run line, as I said earlier. I just think the Phillies managed to scrape out a 1-run win here. I mean, I'm not a big Kyle Freeland guy. So Rockies run line, Giants run line, 2 plays for me.
Yeah, I think that Brewers Giants game is just a tough game. It's a playoff style game. I think the Giants are a little bit more clutch hitting, but Corbin Burns is Corbin Burns, and he ain't gonna give an inch to these guys. We've seen the Giants shut down at times. I think they're going to struggle here at the plate, but I do see it, 2-1 type thing, ish. But it could go either way. But it's like. It's one even on a short card. I say first 5 innings under, and I'm off. I'm moving on because I don't see anything else. I like the Rockies on the reverse run line here. The Phillies just laying down like dogs, throwing helmets, throwing temper tantrums, looking stupid, wearing bandanas. I like the Rockies in this one. I think it's easy money. The Rockies really playing with purpose on the road this season. I think last season at the All-Star break they were 3-25 on the road. This year, they are already 4-1 on the road. So really playing some good baseball on the road. And I know they haven't played the best teams. They played the Tigers. But, Tigers can be tough at Comerica, especially this time of year when it's freezing cold. The Phillies, just dogs it again, 4-5 at home. Just really pathetic effort last night. And then the whining, the crying, the throwing things, the temper tantrum. The like both teams aren't playing with the same umpire or something. But we didn't have, this. It's like, come on, man. You guys have been bad for a long time. It's not like, you're on the border of winning the World Series or something. You went out and you needed defensive and pitching help, and you went out and got sluggers. And it's like, it's morons. It's like, you already have a guy that strikes out every time he's up that makes $35 million. So why get 5 of them? It's like, let's have 5 guys that strike out every time they're up that make, like, ridiculous money, cripple their pitching staff. Outside of that, I think the Phillies really made some good managerial moves. Anyways. I like the Rockies on the reverse run line. Sure, I'm not making a lot of. Yeah, the Giants. That is the thing. The Giants 1 day of rest in the last 11 days, and the thing about the Giants that you always have to remember too is so the Giants have played 16 games this season. 10 have been on the road. And the Giants are generally travel day nightmare teams. The teams that, like, on the first day after the travel, they always play bad. So that's what you have to worry about in that one. That's why I wouldn't, take a shot at them, because they probably are the better team here. Take a shot against Burns because I think they can take it 0-0, or 1-0, down going into the 5th, 6th inning. Get Burns the hell out of there. How about Kyle Schwarber? Think he should get suspended a couple games for that temper tantrum? I think so. Fined, maybe.
I missed it.
I'm sure he'll get fined. Well, what happened was he got struck out again. And it's not like this guy doesn't strike out all the time, right? He strikes out all the time. Throws his
the
helmet.
ball was like a foot outside.
No, it wasn't. Painted the corners. Painted the corners.
No, didn't touch the corner at all. It was
painted
a ball.
Painted the corners.
And ball.
Painted the corners. So
I'd be pissed too.
Throws his helmet on the ground, right? Just starts screaming and running and everything. And he's thrown out of the game. It doesn't matter. The game's over, right? He's thrown out. It's like I think there's 1 or 2 outs at this point in Hader's pitching. So they're not gonna obviously not gonna get a hit off him. I mean, they haven't gotten a hit off anybody else. They're not gonna get a hit off this guy, right?
I might have thrown first base into the dugout or something. I don't know. I would have went crazy.
Maybe you should wear a bandana. Maybe it'll help him.
Maybe tomorrow's show I will wear a bandana.
But you got to wear it the Bryce Harper style, like kind of up in the air, kind of like Jughead from the Archie comics.
I don't think I own a bandana. I'm going to have to look.
I have a whole bunch.
Got the Mets and the Cardinals. Interesting one there. Rangers and the Astros. Joe, either of these two do anything for you?
I don't like the money line on the Mets, but I think the Mets come out and get the win there. They've just played so strong against the Cardinals, and the Cardinals coming home from a road trip have struggled in their last 5, going 1-4 off a road trip off of 7 or more days. I just think the Mets against Mikolas here, the right-handed pitcher, are going to play strong. So give me the Mets. I don't love that, though. And then I think we've got an over game between the Astros and the Rangers. I think it's going to be higher scoring. Dunning has struggled, and I think the Astros will light him up today. So give me the over in that one.
Brian?
Miles Mikolas has been fantastic so far, surprising me. And I'm just going to take a chance here with the St. Louis Cardinals at home at plus money. Nothing I'm selling the house to bet. And then I'll take the Texas Rangers here plus money. I'm going to equal play the Cardinals and the Rangers here. Astros, I got a lucky win with them. I was really worried when they were going into extras there, but they had that walk-off. I think it was a home run yesterday. Got me the W. But I think the Rangers, this is a heated series. Rangers, Astros, they don't like each other. Battle of Texas. I'll take the Rangers.
I think that the Cardinals Mets game is an interesting one and probably going to be low scoring also. I kind of like the under in that thing, even though it's at 7. Miklos hasn't been bad. Max Scherzer is Max Scherzer, so it is what it is. Miklos 1.76 ERA coming into this thing. He's gone. He even went 6.2 in one of his outings, so I think he can go fairly deep into this one. I think Scherzer, well, he's a 7-inning guy too. 1 hit, 1 run, 1 earned last time out. 10 strikeouts, 3 walks against the Giants. He mystified the Phillies, but nothing surprising there. Basically shut them down, made them look stupid. Maybe he carries the banana, so he puts it like over his face and no one recognizes him or something in public. Hey, there's the guy that makes $35 million and strikes out at the biggest moments.
Did the White Sox win a game yet?
Yeah, they won yesterday, right? Oh, no, they lost yesterday.
Lost, actually.
That's right, they lost.
They're just as bad as the Phillies.
I would say that there's not one person on the White Sox that makes nearly as much as Bryce Harper. In fact, I'd in fact stick my neck out to say that the Phillies probably have 3 players higher paid than any players on the White Sox.
Yeah, but expectations for the White Sox are a lot higher than what they've so far shown in the field.
No, when you pay a guy $35 million and you're losing 1-0 ball games, and this guy's striking out and looking stupid doing so, that's why you're not winning. The money you could have given to 2 middle relievers, 2 quality middle relievers, is right there. Walking back to the dugout after striking out. A guy like that should be embarrassed every time he strikes out. Yeah, you got to hear like some of the classic hitters, like the really classic guys, like Gary Sheffield. You ever hear him do an interview? He was like, man, when I struck out, I was so embarrassed to even walk back to the dugout. He was like, I was so mad. It was like, it was just the worst thing I could possibly happen to me. He's like, to strike out. He's like, it was an embarrassing moment. These guys, they just take it in stride. No big deal. So what? Check cleared. I don't know. And then he'll hit like some garbage hits, later on this season in meaningless games. And they'll say, oh, second in the MVP voting by a bunch of guys. So Brian applauds these guys, right, that vote for the MVP. He applauds them when they vote for the MVP and give it to Bryce Harper twice. But, to keep Roger Clemens, Barry Bonds, and Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame, same guys, right? Oh, these guys really know what they're talking about. It's like every one of those guys and Alex Rodriguez, every one of those guys before they ever touched a steroid had Hall of Fame careers. Every one of them.
Pete Rose doesn't belong in that.
Right.
It's just
Pete Rose. Now, like, for betting on baseball, they have sports books in the frickin' stadiums now. You have the players, active players, promoting sports books. Drew Brees, right, who covers the games on as an announcer, is a pitch man for book. Peyton Manning, right? Eli Manning, pitchmen for sports books. But Pete Rose, put a couple dimes on his own team. Oh, my God.
Love Pete Rose. Love Pete Rose.
Same guys that keep these guys out. Are the same guys that I
don't like the steroid guys.
So you don't think Alex Rodriguez before he ever took a steroid had Hall of Fame numbers before?
When did he start? Because when he got to the Texas Rangers, he was surrounded by guys that were steroid users. I think Juan Gonzalez and I don't know if Pudge.
Before he ever got there, he had Hall of Fame numbers in Seattle. How about Barry Bonds?
Yeah, Bonds. Yeah,
I mean, he made the World Series, a couple times with Bonilla and with the Pirates, your team. Long before he was ever, in that discussion. Roger Clemens too. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer long before, he ever touched a steroid. You could see the guy's bodies change over the years, and, Bryce Harper bats .226. He's got 19 strikeouts in 16 games.
It's still early.
Stinks. 2 home runs, 26 total bases. He's got 14 hits and 19 strikeouts. 6 walks, 1 stolen base. Kyle Schwarber, who struck out, and started whining about it, has struck out 20 times this season. He's batting .169. And there he is throwing a temper tantrum that he got struck out. No one said that, right? It's like, hey, you're batting .169. This is the least of your problems. This is, it's like maybe if you were like a 320 hitter or 300 hitter, or even maybe 275, 280, maybe we could talk about this. But you're a 169 scrub. At least right now, I think Schwarber's a better hitter than that. But it's like, you're batting .169, man. Yeah, I'm really good at letting things go. The Astros have not looked the same without Altuve in there. I said it yesterday. I'll say it again. I know they did win yesterday with the walk-off. They just have not looked the same. You're starting to see this happens in NFL teams. It happens in NBA teams. When they win championships and are good for a very long time, you start to see key players leaving the team, And it's like they need to rebuild and fill those spots. Not everyone is the New England Patriots that have a methodology that works that way. For the Astros, it was George Springer first, then it was Correa, it was Cole, Zach Greinke. So you're starting to see like all of these players peel off, and a lot of times they're older players, like that Indians pitching staff. Now they're the Guardians, but at that time they were the Indians. They had that great pitching staff with Kluber and Carrasco and 4 or 5 guys in that rotation, and none of those guys are on the team anymore. But they've rebuilt it. But Framber I like Framber because he's a major sweater. He just really gets the lather going out there. Struggled without the sticky stuff at first. Anyways. Yep, Gretzky is doing BetMGM. Anyways. Got the Guardians visiting the Halos. Halos 9-7 on the season, really. Not as bad as they've looked. I mean, as long as they don't play the Orioles, they seem to be okay. And Shane Bieber on the mound. The Guardians, a little rough weekend there in the Bronx. Did not play well against the Yankees. And then Brian's homeboy, Merrill Kelly here against the Dodgers. Walker Buehler on the mound, who got knocked around pretty good last time out. Just not putting up those Al Niños Walker Buehler jersey type numbers. He's got an ERA over 5 coming into this one. If guys play to the back of their baseball card, Walker Buehler is a big bet, going forward. But if Walker Buehler maybe is done, I mean, this happens to pitchers and it happens very quickly. If there's an issue there, well, then it's a great opportunity because we got Kelly and he doesn't give up an inch. But the thing is, you got that Diamondbacks bullpen that you kind of need to lean on. I'm going to go with the first 5 on the Diamondbacks here. I think that's where you have your shot. I think you probably can get them at plus a half, right? For the first 5. Why not? Why not?
I think it's a good way to go for sure. Kelly's been really strong to start. So
despite this, and that is even with Brian backing him, he still has played well.
My guys are doing well. Merrill Kelly, Dylan Bundy. Who's the guy that Dodgers picked up, the scrub? My guys have been doing well. Don't worry about my guys. They're doing just
You are a
fine.
Bryce Harper fan and apologist.
Not a Bryce Harper fan. I'm an apologist, maybe.
You are.
At least he's not like Ben Simmons. Simmons can't even get out on the court and play.
Well, he was your guy. You were the last of the Simmons supporters.
Yep, I burned my jersey yesterday. That was it for me.
The Nets version or the Sixers version?
No, honestly, I didn't have a jersey of him. But if I did have one, I would have burned it.
I'll tell you what, he goes out and scores a triple-double. Zawacki's on Fanatics buying the Simmons jersey tomorrow. We know that.
He's already ordered Boston Celtics gear. So.
Is he? He's on the Celtics?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
It makes sense. Anyways, Joe, what do you think of these two? Shane Bieber up against Michael Lorenzo.
You know what? I think he's going to have a better outing than we've seen. I'm going to take the under in that first 5 as well. I think the under 4.5 is a good way to take it, but I could see Arizona getting that first 5 as well. So I love your pick there, Mitch, with that one. And then I'm going to lean on Cleveland to get the win here over the Angels and what I think is going to be a lower scoring game. These teams trend so nicely to the under scoring one and or under the total. And I think Bieber is going to have a strong game in this one. So give me Cleveland to open up the series with a win.
Brian?
Yeah, I'm going to do my usual wussing out. I'm going to take the Arizona Diamondbacks plus 1.5. I think Merrill Kelly can give them 6-7 strong innings, and I think Bieber's susceptible to give up a few runs here. I think the Diamondbacks can keep this within a run, so I'll take the 1.5. And then I'm going to ride with the LA Angels, my team with Lorenzen on the mound. He's not a ace by any standard, but I think the Angels, the way the Guardians are playing, I think the Angels have enough to beat them today at this price. I'm going to get in on it.
I like I gave out Diamondbacks minus the 1.5 in the video. I like the under in the Angels Guardians game with Bieber and Lorenzen. Lorenzen's pitched well. Where he usually gets in trouble is he can't find the strike zone. But this year, like Brian pointed out earlier, the umps are calling those strikes now. You don't really have to be in the strike zone or even remotely close to get the strike call these days. So it helps guys like Dylan Bundy and Lorenzen and guys like that a lot. Anyways, just wanted to make a quick note to everybody. So the other day on Sunday's videos, I got quite a few comments on YouTube that it looked like I had bit my tongue when I was doing my video and there's blood coming out of my mouth. I apologize for that. I had on Saturday, a few weeks ago, we were doing the show and like just in the middle of the show, my tooth broke in half. And I kind of been just gutting it out, and then finally the pain got so bad I had to go and I had emergency dental surgery on Saturday. And the thing is, the bleeding didn't stop. Like they said, you have to apply pressure to it, and I applied pressure to it for like 2 hours. Bleeding didn't stop. I had to get the videos out. So instead of calling in sick like other people would have done, with having oral surgery, I just did the videos anyway, and I just tried to clean up in between. And I guess on the Nets Celtics, I didn't do such a good job. But anyways, yeah, that's what happened there. I didn't bite my tongue or any of those things. It's going to take me a little while. It's all on this side of bad swelling. But if you look at that Nets Celtics, yeah, nothing pretty about it. Looks like it's my Gene Simmons imitation. It's like running down my tongue. Nothing good about it. But anyways, yeah, some people were real jerks in the comments. They think like it's like I'm doing the best I can to put out the free content, and it's like these people are like laughing. It's like making fun of me or something. Like, how pathetic is your life, man? It's like, seriously. It's like, I'm sure we could find if these people ever had the sack to show who they were. I'm sure we could point out plenty of imperfections in their life, and maybe makes fun of some of their injuries and issues that they have, some medical issues that they have, right? I mean, really, who does that, What kind of people, man?
I don't know.
Where's the
people
love,
are
man?
Just mean.
It's pathetic, man. It's really pathetic, right? Anyways, I wanted to address that because I did get quite a few comments about it. So, anyways. Any parlays, any props, anything?
I got a parlay.
All right.
I'm gonna get on the Arizona Diamondbacks plus the 1.5, Colorado Rockies plus the 1.5, and the Nets Boston Celtics under the number.
For myself, I'm gonna go the under 4.5 for the first half of the Dodgers and Arizona, and I take the under between Boston and Toronto, and give me the Mavericks laying the points.
I'm going to go Diamondbacks, reverse run line, Rockies, reverse run line. Just two-teamer. Break the bank.
That's a ballsy one.
Set of balls on that kid. Anyways, thanks everyone for joining us. We appreciate each and every one. We're going to do a combo show today. There's just not a ton of games here. So we'll do a combo premium VIP like we did. I think we did yesterday. Yesterday we did it because we were out of time. You know what happens? Like after the show, Al Ninos gets all chatty. It's like,
yeah,
it does. All right. Thanks everyone for joining us. Make it a winning day. I'm going to try and act more professional tomorrow.